Welcome back to By Your Side with V-Wise and Tino. We have a very, very special guest in the building. Oh, man, what can I say? He's a newcomer, but he's someone who's been racking up the plays, the views, the virality of someone who's been in the game for years. He hails from Western Sydney, but he's definitely bringing a whole refreshing sound to a lot of music that's been coming out of the region. I'd like to personally say that he's someone, you know, that you can tell he has a presence. He's got that star appeal that we need in rap today, especially coming out of Australia. So I want to welcome to the show, Kapulet.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, Kate?
Good, man. What's good?
First off, well, before we get into the whole interview, how you been, man? What's been good?
I've been good, man. Everything's been good, you know.
Yeah.
Just been a minute. I haven't seen you in a long time too, bro.
We walked in and I saw this guy, man. I'm gonna lie, bro. We embraced. I haven't seen
I know, man. I was trying to get the hug off. I went to go for a handshake and I went for a hug and I was like, I haven't seen this guy in a minute,
love,
bro.
That's love. That's love. That's how we do it. Like, that's what it is, because I think for me, you know, seeing you and knowing you before I thought, even knew that you were really out here doing music. But actually diving into that, you know, you people would say you're relatively new, but the way you've been making waves, doing your thing, the virality. I mean, even collaborations. You've got 2 songs already with 1-4 in the bag. I'm talking like, you take a lot. You can tell that you're taking your music very serious. But what I want to say is, because of the moves that you've been making, for those for any of our viewers, or anyone at home, or anyone listening, he just gave him a deuces, bro. For anyone listening, I mean, or anyone who's been sleeping under a rock, I mean, can you just tell us a bit about like where you're from and what inspired you to take on this music journey?
Oh, well, I'm from Mount Jewett. I grew up there since I was young, like pretty much raised there. And just with the music thing, you know, just like with Islanders and stuff, like everyone's around music and stuff. And just growing up, I was always into making music. I always try to like rap all the songs that are on the radio, you know? You know, you're in the car driving and you're like trying to match the same tone as the singer or something, you know? But yeah, just like that. And then just being around it too, like how you were speaking about before.
Yes, sir.
I've been there like in the studio, like with like Manu Crooks and that,
that's
you know?
right.
And I've seen them making music and I'm like, this is mad, you know? Like I wanted to do it. So like maybe like a bit later when the scene started, everyone started making music, I got more comfortable. I was like, maybe I can do it, you know? Because back then it was just a few select people that was doing it, because like, and they were the main people doing it. So I was like, so it might be hard to do it. So, you know?
Got you.
And then everyone started making music and I was like, maybe I'll just give it a try, see how it go.
No, man. I mean, because that's one thing, like how you mentioned. I want to even take I believe it was like 2018. And why I think I remember it keying it, because I was working on my first album at the time, but that's when I saw you, and like you said, you know, you had Manu Crooks in the cart, Bless, and a few other people.
Was there,
and you were in the studio, you would come through, right? And you come through and we would be like, I remember even playing your music, or we were playing music, or you were showing me things that like you were into and that kind of thing. So, I mean, you've always been in the cut and you've always been inspired by the music. So,
100%.
I mean, now look at it, it's come full circle.
And it's just come back to it. Yeah, I think, that's what it was too. Like, they'll show me music and stuff and I'll listen to it and I'm like, wow, this is something I want to do, you know?
All right.
And
man, that's it. Well, what we're going to do is, we're speaking on music, we're going to get into some music right now. We're going to come back off the break and we're going to still be with Kapulet. This is By Your Side. Welcome back to By Your Side. This is Wise and I'm still joined by Kapulet. Now, Cap, I want to take you back to real quick 2020.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I haven't seen you for a minute, so I want to talk about it. Phone My Line.
Yeah.
Out the gate. Out the gate, virality, out the gate, like moving. And it had people. I just want to actually make a quick comment. If it wasn't for COVID 2020 hitting, I could swear that would have been already running up in clubs. You would have been in playing festivals. Like, I mean, so you were, when everyone was in lockdown, you would have had, you know, booty shaking and all that anyway. You would have had people moving and vibing, man. Yeah. But one thing I find super interesting, right, is that your sound, you know, it's so unique because, like you said, you know, you're from Mountie and there's so much music coming out of the region, dope music as well. But there's something different in the sense, like, about what you're doing as well. Like, personally, I'm going to make it like this. So, you know, I found, even with Phone My Line, like, you know, it's very melodic. You've got even hints of Afro swing, Afro beat, you know, I dare say R and bass, but also still blended with rap music. I mean, it's saucy, bro. And then also, bro, like, and you watch the video, like, my man's drippy. You know what I mean? Like, he can tell he cares about what's going on. You know what I mean? So we're talking about star appeal. Yeah. But you've got this perfect balance, brother, when you see the video, you know, of the streets and also mainstream appeal. I want to ask you, like, who inspired you, like, like growing up, like when you were listening to music or watching some of the music you were mentioning on radio? I mean, who were your who are your inspirations, and like how do you think that's impacted your music?
I think from like growing up when I was young, it's just the typical people like you know, you got Tupac, Biggie, and as I got older, it started to change because like, you know, T-Pain started bringing out the auto-tune stuff, and then all the new artists started coming out, Little Tecca, Little TJ, you got Roddy Ricch, you got all these melodic rappers. Like I think they're the people that really brought me to like that melodic side. But like growing up when I was younger, it's just the usual, you know, like Tupac, Biggie, 50 Cent, and like that's where the raps come from. And then like as T-Pain started bringing out his melodic stuff, and that's when the, you know, that sound started changing, but you're still using the raps from like Tupac and Biggie, but you're adding that like, you know, melodic stuff to it.
All right, now that you put it that way, you can see it, you feel it, and it's evidence present.
Yeah, 100%.
Walk me very quickly through your recording process. Like what's it like? Like when you go into the studio, like how was your vibe? Like how do you cook?
Straight off the bat, hook, man.
Straight hook?
If you play a beat, I'm straight to
that.
it.
I'm
saying now, bro.
I'm with that.
I love making catchy hooks. That's all. Like I love when people just repetitive hooks, bro. Because that's me. Like a song will catch me is the hook, bro. And then once I make the hook, the verse comes easy because you're speaking about what you're feeling at that time. So the verse will always come like naturally.
Huge.
Like I don't force the verse. Like I always go for the hook. And once that hook's catchy, I just come with what I want to feel like and what I want to speak about in the verse. And then that's when the verses come.
I agree with you. I'm fully with that. If you ain't got a hook, you ain't got a song.
That's it, bro.
So you go in with that first and then you build up. You just heard it first, man. Capulet. We're going to be back for a little bit more. Hook first, man. You got to hook you first.
Yeah, man.
Straight up, man. This is By Your Side. Catch us for more in a sec. Welcome back to By Your Side with B-Wise and Tino, and I'm here with Kapulet. Okay, now actually, speaking of, all right, now, your name, Kapulet, super interesting, right? Just want to take a little left before we look back. You know what I mean? Out here in this rap game, you know, we got a lot of lils, you know, little something. We got a lot of babies, heaps of babies. You know what I mean? But Kapulet, very interesting. Can you explain to us the origin of your name? How'd you come about and what does it mean?
Oh, yeah. So the funny thing is, like in high school, have you heard of Romeo and Juliet?
Yep.
So yeah, I read that book for
the book or the movie?
The book.
Yeah.
So we had to read the book for HSC. So we read the book, and then I don't know what made me interested in it, and I was just like, always like, it just made me want to keep reading it, and then we ended up watching the movie. So I got the name Kapulet because, you know, there's Romeo and Juliet, the House of Montenegros and House of Capulet.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah. So Shakespeare. Yeah. I feel like that guy's the real G, you know, like he. If anyone out there trying to get girls,
bro. Bet. So
Shakespeare
from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was House of Capulet.
Yeah, there's House of Capulet and House of Montenegro.
Because one of them, they were with separate houses from memory. I'm taking back to high school as well, and they were feuding, and those two fell in love. All right.
And that's
I
what
love
it was.
that, bro. And it just stuck with you.
And then I just changed the C to a K, and then I was like, run with Capulet.
Love that, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
there you go. That's something different, and that's why I just wanted to ask you that real quick. But I want to spin real back there and hook back to the music. I mean, brother, you've dropped a handful of singles. Like, I feel like you're on your wave, and also you seem quite understanding and determining what your sound is, and you continue to grow. With these handful of records out, what's next, bro? What's the rest of 2020 looking like? 2022 looking like for you, bro? 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah.
So for the rest of the year, bro, I'm just gonna be dropping a lot of singles with features on it.
Yep.
Just to like keep dropping, and then at the end of the year, I'm trying to like work on a EPA. Just to show other people like I have different styles of music, you know, and like different feels as well. Just so stuff that I can't really release, but I want to release, sort of thing. And just so everyone can get a feel of like what different vibes I can bring and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think that's the main goal for this year.
Is there any particular producers or anyone that you stay locked in with, or anyone like that, or are you keeping your sort of ears open to what's happening out there?
Usually just sticking with Souls and Willstar and Kells as well, 99 Hertz. But really it's like my ears are open to like whatever. And so the last beat that I got, Katie Pro, he produced it. So he produced one of, what's his name? I just forgot his name. Stunner Gambino. Yeah. So he produced one of his songs.
Yes,
and I bought that beat off him, and then So yeah.
Can we expect a little overseas travel real quick? Can we expect to see you like touching base overseas?
I want to, bro.
Right?
I want to, man.
I think you would really kill it out there as well, man. But man, much love, much success. Real quick, man. Shout out to everyone. How can we find you, man? How can the people find you online, et cetera, man?
Just check me on Instagram. It's Kapulet. It's Kapulet. And yeah.
That's it. It's a pleasure to have you, my brother.
Appreciate it, brother.
You're a friend of the show. We got much love for you in and outside of the show, man. So blessing. We wish you the best of luck. This is By Your Side, Kapulet, man. Shout out. Keep an eye on my man. Bless.